Real quick, I want to do a fair use. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, to the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, in the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect. Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners, who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To you sisters, your Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson.
In the Wall Street Journal. This is an actual headline in the Wall Street Journal today. DHS is considering a reality show where immigrants compete for citizenship. The Journal's report quotes a Department of Homeland Security spokeswoman who confirms that the idea is being considered, and she has spoken to the producer who pitched it. That producer defended the project to the Journal, saying, quote, "This is not the Hunger Games for immigrants."
This is the Hunger Games.
It feels like the Hunger Games for immigrants. I want the government to take me out of this chat. I just take me out of the group chat. This is crazy.
So the creator of this show has been pitching the show to DHS back since 2012. And he told the Times, we need a national conversation of what it means to be American. We need to be reminded of how proud and how much of an honor it is to be an American. You know who doesn't need that reminder? Immigrants. It's a big part of why many of them come to this country. What they actually want is a pathway to U.S. citizenship that doesn't require a rose ceremony or a dance-off. And if NOM, if DHS, if Congress were serious about reforming our immigration system, they would look at the proposal that Senator Ruben Gallego put forward this week, which actually included a lot of reforms that would help the system, expanding legal pathways, a path to citizenship for dreamers, for other folks who've been here a long time, who might be married to U.S. citizens, an expedited asylum system. That is how you get serious about fixing America's broken.
Yeah, and I'm going to start off with this. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Yeah, this is Ezekiel chapter 12, verse 1. GNT, the prophet as a refugee. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Alright. Spoke to me, mortal man. He said, you are living amongst rebellious people. They have eyes, but they see nothing. They have ears, but they hear nothing, because they are rebellious. Right? And that's you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. At this time, this was talking about the Judeans, right? Which would be Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? The southern kingdom. But this goes for all Israel, right? At this point, because you are all rebellious, right? Now, mortal man, pack a bundle just as a refugee, right? Because that's going into you know, yeah, whether if it's the Haitians, the Jamaicans, right, which is the Southern Kingdom, or you so-called Cubans, Mexicans, Colombians, whatever, all you be trying to come to America, you know, that now you're coming here for refuge, kind of like as a refugee, supposedly, right? Would and start out before nightfall. Let everyone see you leave and go to another place. Maybe those rebels will notice you, right? Yeah. This is while it is still daylight, pack your bundle for exile, for so that they can see you, and then let them watch you leave in the evening as if you were going into exile, right? While they are watching, break a hole through the wall for you of your house to take your pack out through it. Wow, man. Right, because that's what that's what these devils are about to do, man. They, I mean, this was, you know, the Southern Kingdom at that time, but we know that this is the spiritual Babylon, and they're gonna, you know, they're showing you that through the ice. They're coming to people's house. They're coming to the schools, this and that, and that's just the beginning. You know what I mean? Because wait until it's all citizens, because then they're gonna be able to use a covering cast anymore, right? As they're showing you, they're gonna throw, they really throw it out there like it's a game, doing it like it's the Hunger Games. See, they're gonna be a covering cast anymore. They plan on just being playing out, the devil, man, going back into their ways of being Rome, where you used to throw Jake into the Colosseum with lions and all this and stuff, and say, "Win your freedom," right? See, the Northern Kingdom didn't really have to deal with that because they had already came over here to what they call America now, which is at that time was Arzrith or Turtle Island, right? So they didn't go through Esau putting them into coliseums fighting lions and bears and madness, just for freedom. So that's kind of like what they were saying, and they're pitching it like this is legitimate. They straight up 2025. They're telling you they want to make a show out of you becoming a citizen, right? Which is similar to even what they used to do during slavery. They would make you do shows and dance and and prove that you're this and that, and whoever wins, maybe you get a day off from being in the field, or you get an extra portion of meal or something, So even like the scriptures say, even in their so-called tender mercies, they're cruel, right? Might have to get that verse right there, because that's that right there. They're cruel, right? This is a break a hole through the wall for of your house and take your pack out through it. Right. right? Let them watch you put your pack on your shoulder and go out in the dark with your eyes covered so that you cannot see where you are going. What you do will be a warning to the Israelites, right? Which are you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, right? This was only 3 tribes was there at this time, but this Babylon, all 12 tribes are here in this Babylon. So this is a warning to all 12 tribes of Israel in Babylon, which is spiritual Babylon this time, right? I did what Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai told me to do that day. I packed a bundle as a refugee would, right? And that's ultimately what a lot of these people are doing. You either, whether if you're coming from Haiti or Mexico, wherever, you're basically being a refugee. You're looking for refuge. You're looking for a better place. But these people ain't caring about that, man. They're looking to put you into bondage. This is your enemy. Esau is your enemy. Whether you accept it, believe it or not, he's going to show you that he's your enemy. But look, he'd say he ready to make a show out of it, a display, show you how to, because you know the thing ain't going to just be, the lady said something about dancing or something. It ain't going to be about dancing. It's going to be like fighting and, you know, like the Hunger Games was, you know what I mean? You know, to the death, right? And that evening, as it was getting dark, I dug a hole in the wall with my hand and went out while everyone watched. I put the pack on my shoulder and left. Wow. Let's skip down to let's go 12. So that the prince who is ruling them will shoulder his pack in the dark, right? So that was all the example, and that's all. You know what I mean? We don't really necessarily have a ruler now, but you know, you have your so-called community leaders and this and that, but they don't have an answer either. So just the same way you're gonna have to deal with the situation, that's what they're gonna have to deal with it. And there's a way you're trying to escape, but it's not. There's no escape. The only way is up. The only way is Yahweh Bashem El Shai, right? So your princes, your leaders, the man of the house, right? You know what I'm saying? Which now is most likely the woman, and the Lord deprived a lot of these women of wisdom. They don't know what's going on, right? That's why the Lord said you're blind. Shoulders packed in dark, right? You're blind. You know, you can't see, and escape through a hole that they dig for him in the wall. He will cover his eyes and not see where he is going. And that's a lot of you jakes, man. Your eyes are blinded and you don't know where you're going because you don't have the true light. You don't have Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But I will spread out my net and trap him in it. Then I will take him to the city of Babylon. See, that's where you want to come. You're trying to come to Babylon, but guess what? America, Babylon the Great, is just a trap, man. So you want to come? Okay, we'll bring you. The Lord will allow you to come. I said, I'm going to bring him to Babylon, right? Where he will die without seeing it. See? And now you end up fighting this thing like a Hunger Games thing, and you be fighting just to get to Babylon, just to get to America. Hey, and guess what? You won't even see it. You'll end up dying trying to get here, which that happens to a lot of them Israelites. You know, the northern kingdom Israelites coming up from Mexico and all these different other places. They literally die walking through vast amounts of deserts to get here. Then on top of that, now they want you to fight to the death. They want you to do Hunger Games type stuff to order to be citizens. They want to make a show of it. They want to make a sport of you, right? Yeah, Judges chapter 16, verse 24 says, it's time of Samson. It's like it's not Samson, not Samuel, but Samson, right? Who had the long hair, who, you know, he ended up letting himself give himself over to a woman, got his hair cut, took his power. But before that, he was a mighty man. He was set up to defend Israel, you know. And it says when the people saw him, they praised their gods, right? Because these were our enemies, and they end up capturing Samson. For they say our gods have delivered into our hands our enemy, right? And destroyer of our country, which slew many of us, right? Because he was a savior for Israel. He was defending his people, right? Even though a lot of times his people wasn't in agreement with him defending them, or how he defended them. You know, pretty much like how we go out there and say, you know, it ain't really that you're doing it. It's just how you're doing it. And they're offended, but there's no other way to do it, right? When you're dealing with unruly people, and it's going to show you that. It says when the people saw him, they praised their God, saying, our God has delivered our enemy to us. The one who killed many of us is now in our power, right? And let me show you how this is. Half drunk by now, so they were partying, right? They're partying, doing, enjoying themselves. Demanded, bring out Samson. So he came amused. He came amuse us. Yeah, see, and that's ultimately what they're saying. Do this little game show, and because you're the Israelites, you're their enemy. They don't like you, whether you accept it, believe it or not. It doesn't matter. They don't like you, and a lot of them don't even know why they don't like you. So you can't necessarily ask, especially low-level Edomites. You can't ask them and be like, oh, why don't you? They don't know. But the upper echelon, they know you're the Israelites, and they don't like you, right? And they want you just to amuse them. So he was brought from the prison. See, and that's what they want to do. Take you from the concentration camp, take you from the encampments or whatever they want to, and then take you to their so-called reality show so you can amuse them. So I don't know if you fight or dance or sing or whatever they may do, right? In order for you to be an American citizen. So you can amuse them, right? So he was brought from the prison to amuse them, right? And they had him stand between the pillars, supporting the roof, right? Yeah, and that was their demise, man. And that's ultimately what's gonna happen now. There's them trying to make sport of the Israelites and trying to do such things, coming after the elect is gonna be their demise, man. Yeah. Yeah, right. Matter of fact, in the scriptures, it talks about the men of the Lord of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai being pillars, right? Right. Matter of fact, so you to come against these pillars, and then the roof is gonna come down upon you. Says and it came to pass when their hearts, la'ab, their minds, right, were married, right, which that means they're drunk. Yes, was that when their hearts were married, basically they're giving you the understanding, half drunk, they were drunk, right, that they said, call for Samson that he may make that he may make us sport, right, amuse them, right. And they called for Samson out of prison, out of the prison house, and he made them sport, right there. He amused them, and they set him between the pillars, right. Matter of fact, let's keep on going, because I was only just going to read that part, but making me think about how yeah, the men of the Lord, that's pillars. And Samson said unto the that lad that held him by the hand, suffer that I may feel the pillars where upon the house standeth, and that I may lean upon them. Right? You got to yikwab them real quick, right? Samson said to the young servant who led him by the hand, place my hands against the pillars that hold up the temple, right? See? And that's ultimately what this charagma is going to be, right? It's their temple, so to speak, right? Because that's where they want. The Lord said your body is the temple. So where are they trying to put the charagma? Inside you, right? Says I want to rest against them. It says and now the house was full of men and women, and the Lord and all the lords of the Philistines were there, and there were upon the roof against about 3,000 men and women, dang, that beheld Samson making sport, right? You have all these people making sport, right, to amuse them, see? And about 3,000 men and women on the roof who were watching Samson amuse them, right? So they was just there to get amused. Let me see if I can. Okay, I think this is it. And it says, then Samson prayed to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the sovereign Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kodash. Remember me again, O power. Please strengthen me just one more time with one blow. Let me repay the Philistines for the loss of my 2 eyes. Right? Then Samson put his hands on the 2 center pillars that held up the temple, and pulling against them with both his hands, Salakia, he prayed, "Let me die with the Philistines." And the temple crashed down on the Philistines, the rulers, and all the people. So he killed more people than he killed more people when he died than he had during his entire life. Right? Right? Pulling down those pillars, right? Yeah, so this is Revelation chapter 3, verse 12. We'll go NLT first. It says, all who are victorious will become pillars in the temple of my power, right? Yeah, it was meant to be pillars within Israel, which is of Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai. And they will never have to leave it. And I will write on them the name of my power, right? And also there's another version that also says Yahweh Shai, right? The name of the Father and the Son. The name of the Father, right, which is Yahweh, the power. Yahweh Basham El Shai, basically, because that's ultimately what it would be. And they will be citizens in the city of my power, the New Jerusalem, that cometh down from heaven from my power. I will also write on them my new name. Which is Yahweh Shai's name. So yeah. So you be written with Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai. And he that overcomes, King James, will I make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him my name, upon him the name of my power, which is Yahweh, right? Which, like I said, is Yahweh Basham, my power, and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down from heaven, right? So these Edomites, something similar to the Philistines, because if you think of Samson he would have to be back here today, and he is going to be victorious. He is victorious, and he is a pillar. He's a pillar to the truth. So when you get to messing with these these pillars and trying to make sport of it, hey, it's all going to crumble down upon you. It's going to come down crashing down upon you, right? Which cometh down from heaven, my power, from my power, right? Which is Yahweh. And I will write upon him my new name, right? Which is Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakak Wadash, man. right? You messing with those pillars, them pillars are gonna get you, bro. Yeah. Yeah, so this is Revelations chapter 11, verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them. See, and that's ultimately what they're doing. They want to make sport of you. They want to rejoice over you, right? And make merry, right? It said they were halfway drunk. They were merry. They want to drink and party and laugh at you, right? Right? And shall send gifts one to another, right? And that's ultimately what they want to do, just make you a complete slave, man. Put you in a docile mind frame. Put the MOTB in you. Oh, not to mention you had to fight or dance or entertain, somehow amuse them to end up getting the charagma just to be a so-called citizen of a place and of a people who hate you, right? Because these two prophets tormented them, see? And that's ultimately what it is. Just like Samson, he killed a lot of them, right? And when we were on top, we ruled. And we tormented these nations when we were on top, which is about to happen again, man. The second coming of Yahushua is coming, and we're about to torment these nations all over again. But this time it's going to be worse, right? Esau added, you know what I'm saying, to the fire that's going to come to all you nations, especially Esau. He's going to get double, right? These two prophets dealing with the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, Joshua and Zerubbabel, right? Representing that southern kingdom and that northern kingdom, right? Representing the elect of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? That dwelled on the earth, right? And that's ultimately what they've been doing. That's what they want to do. That's their mind frame. Yeah, all the people who belong to the world, right? Didn't get the charagma. They're gonna belong to Esau, belong to the world. Will gloat over them. See, they're gonna gloat, laugh, make sport. That's what they want to do. Hey, let's put this is a real thing. Let's make them compete for citizenship, right? And give presents to each other to celebrate the death. Ooh, yeah, see, man, look at that. To celebrate the death of these two prophets, right? And that's what they want. Ultimately, they want to celebrate your death, right? Which just represents the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom of the nation of Israel, which were a nation together, and they want to celebrate our death. Who tormented them, but we're not gonna die like that. The Lord is gonna change this whole thing around, man. Shortly, real shortly. Yeah. So this is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 10. Because thus has said these two nations, right? The southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, and these two countries shall be mine, right? You dealing, we are a people before a place, but you took the land of Israel, and now you even wiping out the Palestinians so you could try to have it all to yourself, right? You Edomites, Amalek, so they just want to possess you, bro. You know what I mean? Brothers and sisters, should I say, and we will possess it, whereas Yahweh was there. See, and that's what they want to give you, the thing. They want to turn everything upside down. They want to have everything esteemed as the potter's clay, as if Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai have ordained this. Now they're the power. Now, the Bible says something different, but every day you see a Edomite everywhere saying he's JC, which of course they place that in the Bible, but when you understand where would they get that from? The letter J is only 4,500 years old, right? The Lord spoke Hebrew, right? He didn't speak Greek. And then even Jesus is not Greek, right? So, I mean, there's all sorts of things. His image, everything, right? His personality, you know what I mean? The Lord is an austere man. He's not no soft-spoken, effeminate man, right? It says Ezekiel 35:11 says, therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rakach Wadash, I will even do according to thy anger. See, so they're angry with us, they're mad with us, they're jealous, they're envious. But the Lord said he's going to do according to their anger. To thy envy, see, they envy us, which thus has used out of thy hatred. See, they hate you, Israelites. See, but you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, you don't want to see it. You don't want to see it. You love your oppressor. You got the Stockholm Syndrome, and you love your oppressor. But they hate you out of thy hatred against them, see? But the Lord is going to hold them accountable for that hatred, right? Starting with the elect, through the elect, right? And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee, right? Because the Lord judged us. But hey, that don't mean Esau is going to escape, because just because the Lord's using him to judge us doesn't mean the Lord's not going to judge him. So the Lord's definitely going to judge you. And that's what he's saying. Yeah, he used you as a whooping stick, right? But you are going to get judged. Yeah, so, this is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 5. Yeah, because the Lord uses you, Esau, the self-proclaimed so-called white man. He used you to come against us. It says, woe to, which means destruction, judgment is still going to come to you. To the Assyrians, and that's what you are. You're the Assyrians too. You're Babylonians. You're the Assyrians, right? You're Nineveh. You're going to be destroyed, man. You're the place that ought to be destroyed, who lived after the manner of those 5 cities, which is of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And you done so after the manner when that was an example so that you don't do it. But guess what? You did it. So you got a judgment to the Assyrians, the rod of my anger. See, you're the rod of the Most High's anger, whose hand is the club of my wrath. I like that one. I like it because you're the club of the Lord's wrath, man. You go out there and you club Jacob, right? All 12 tribes, but hey, you even do that to the nations. The Lord set you up so that you can go against the nations too, right? But that's all going to be your demise, right? I use it as the club to express my anger, right? See, that's you. The Lord used you as a club to express his anger, man. Right? Yeah, my indignation. Let's see. But I like that one. That the club. You know what I mean? Let you know. Yeah. Yeah, see, against Israelites disobedience, right? Yeah. Right here. The Amplified version. Woe to the Assyrians, which judgment's coming to you too. The rod of my anger against Israel, right? The staff in whose hand is my indignation and fury against Israel's disobedience, right? And that's what you're set up for. So it's not nothing of yourself, but hey, that's your sentiments. You think you're gonna do it as it is God, right? Right? Yeah. So this is Isaiah 14:5. It says the in International Version says the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has broken the rod of the wicked, the scepter of the rulers, right? It says a New Living Translation for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has crushed the wicked power and broke your evil rule. And see, that's what the Lord is going to do, man. He's going to break your evil rule, right? And this one, the King James Version says, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, right? You wicked, evil rulers, right? Which is Esau, Edom. And a staff could be known as a club, right? So you're the club of Yahweh's indignation towards the nation of Israel. But guess what? You're still going to get judged. Yeah, you may have judged us. The Lord used you to judge us. But that's what the Lord said. I'm going to show you through them, and you're going to understand. Hey, look how I judge my people. You think I'm not going to judge you? You think I'm not going to raise up another nation against you? Which that nation is Russia now, right? The Meags, right? The Lord's stirring up the Meags against you, right? Yeah. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Saying that's what he's saying. I want to take over these people, and I want to be as if God is there. I want to be as if you know, I want them to see me as God, right? And that's your thing. And a lot of these jakes do. That's why you could throw a pitch like that, and that don't really sit in people like, what the like even regular. I mean, I get it. You people are all the devil, obviously, but man, you would think even regular folk would just be like, what? That is crazy. That is asinine. That you would just, you should know not even to think to say some craziness like that. They're gonna have a reality show to become American citizen, right? Which still never really guarantees you to be an American citizen. Even if you get a visa runs out. Man, they ready to make sport of you Israelites, man. For an amusement, as if we're not amusing these devils enough. As if we're not the best, basketball players and boxers and all these other different things. We're already amusing these devils, man. But it ain't enough. Like the scripture says, They were not satisfied with blood, right? They're not satisfied with your blood, right? Right? Esteemed as the potter's clay, right? Which is the Most High. They're going to esteem everything as if they created it, right? That's what what's his name? Bill Gates. Are we the scientists or not? As if talking about you don't need more trees. Well, if we have a problem with air and oxygen, all you need to do is put more trees. Yes. That's you're saying you're science. That is science. Stupid. That don't make sense. But these are the people you esteemed high. Right? Yeah. You esteem him as a potter's clay, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Are you gonna say the power didn't make you? Yahweh Bashem El Shai didn't make you? Man, you people are funny, man. They like Yahweh Bashem El Shai created you? He didn't make you? He made me not? Or shall the thing framed, right? That's what you were. You were framed. And you were put to be the wicked, right? Who could make a crooked thing straight. Say of him that framed it. So the Most High framed you. And you gonna say, oh no, you didn't frame me. You didn't create me. You didn't make me. You don't have no power over me. I'm God. He had no understanding. Say, hey, God don't have no understanding. I got this. Watch me take over. I'm going to use the technology that you gave me, the breath that you gave me, and I'm going to take over your people, and then I'm going to control them. And I'm going to make it be like if I'm their God, right? I'm the God of the whole wide world. Psalms chapter 10, verse 7, right? His mouth was full of cursing and deceit and fraud under his tongue, right? See, that's all you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Just lie to you, fraudulate these different accusations and things, lie and say that he's going to do all these different things as a president. He's going to make America great. They're going to do this. They're going to do all this and that. And hey, we'll give you a path to citizenship. Oh, by the way, on this reality show, which you are dealing with the reality show president, the only president ever in history that was on a reality show is now your president, right? Which is ironic that he's been through Elon Musk been firing so many people in his show, being an apprentice. His words, I guess what do you call it? Trademark word is you're fired, right? The reality show guy, right? Yeah, is mischief and vanity, right? He sitteth in lurking places, and that's what they're doing, man. Of the valleys, in secret places, right? The Illuminati, they're secret. They know who the Rothschild, the Bilderberg, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Oppenheimers, those families, and then there's people even behind that scene because you don't know who these other people are, right? And then you got the police, the CIA, the secret black ops, all these, MI6, all these different, entities that they have to what? Do with murder the innocent, right? Then of course they bring in the drugs and things, so you kill yourself too, right? All sorts of ways to kill you, all these different diseases and things that they create,
or if they don't create it, they unleashes it when they want to, when it suits them, right? To make money or to make a crisis so they can do whatever, do murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor, which really is dealing with the Israelite, right? His eyes are privily set on Israelites. That's what it should say, right? But, you know, we know what it means. Most is basically meaning the Israelites. But even poor other people, countries, different places, they're against them. But mostly it's the Israelites, right? You so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. He lie in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor, right, which are the Israelites. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into a net. See? And to put you into goddamn concentration camps, right, trying to get over through the border, then you got to be on a reality TV show to fight to the death or dance or whatever they want you to do, sing or whatever, to become American citizen, right? I'll tell you, man. And he said they've been pitching that since 2012. So this is quite some time. So they've been, these devils know what they're doing. He croucheth and humble himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones, right? Right? They fake you out. They crouch and humble themselves, and then you end up falling. He have said in his heart, God, right? The power, the Most High Yahweh, have forgotten. See? So he said, I'm God then, because God must have forgot you niggas, man. Forgot you so-called Mexicans. I'm God now. I'm going to rule over these two countries. I'm going to rule over these two people, because I remember when they were ruling, they were on top, they tortured us. So I'm going to torture them. I know who they are, right? You don't know who you are. You don't know you're the Israelites, right? The power have forgotten. He hideth his face. He will neither see it, right? Yeah, so this is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 9. He that is despised and haveth a servant, right? And that's what you a lot of you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians are. You're just Edomite servants, man. You're just this self-proclaimed so-called white man's servant. Is better than he that honoreth himself and lack bread. So hey, look, he ain't finna be lacking bread. He don't care. You're trying to get into America. You could despise him. You're trying to stay afloat. You're working paycheck to paycheck. Hey, they're billionaires. They're about to separate everything. They're about to wipe out the middle class, and there's only going to be rich or poor, and they don't give a damn because they're going to have servants. You could despise them, but hey, you the one who ain't got no bread. You don't got food to eat. You can't feed your family. They ain't giving a damn. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast. See? See how, hey, you may got love that you're running out of food, you doing that, but you even love your animals, and you feel like it's not right that these devils would be so cruel that he wouldn't leave you with water or things, and not even the animals, man. Not even the elderly or children. This dude don't give a damn, bro. Right? But the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel, right? So when he do give you mercy, hey, how about a Fox TV show that's a reality show where you fight, dance, I don't know, do something bring out your talents, you know, and we'll see if you could be a citizen then. See, that's their mercy, right? All to make sport of you, right? Yeah, with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four ones preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners, whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Bible ball, Kwam Yasharallah.